are the Generation 10 starters gonna be? What about the future of the Pokemon Classic Collection? Like, are we actually gonna get a Classic Collection? And what will the colors be for Generation 10? Today we're gonna cover just a bunch of random stuff. It's another one of those videos where we have different topics about different games. I mean, it's mostly Gen 10 related, I will say that, but we got a bunch of interesting stuff, so get ready, guys. Let's start off with talking about the engine for Generation 10. Somebody said you can confirm it's the same engine for Gen 10. I'm very worried about that. Basically saying like, okay, yeah, they have an upgrade, whatever. In 2024 builds, yes, it was the same engine. So it's the same engine for Gen 10 that we had for Gen 8, 9. I think it was even a couple of generations before that too, but there's upgrades. That does not necessarily mean the graphics will look like this. It could still look way better. Like, hopefully we could have a Pokemon game that looks more like this. Like, that would be amazing. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna look this good, but still, it's just very interesting to me because, like, what's the holdup with the graphics of Pokemon games? You know what I'm saying? Like, Generation 10 is going to be a switch to exclusive. At least, like, we're 99.99% sure and certain that it will be a switch to exclusive, which has a lot of people upset. I personally am not too upset about that, only because of the fact that it means the game could probably be bigger and better. But I do feel bad because some people can't play it. Some people are not going to be able to get a Switch 2. Some people won't get one for a while, a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So for those people, I wish they were able to play it, and I hope that they are able to play it one way or another. We had Pori posting just kind of like a joke, you know, saying, once again, I have a proposal for Pokemon Day 2026, which we all want some of the classic OG games to come over to the Switch, right? Or Switch 2, even both, whatever. Online, the NSO subscription. I'd rather have it be a physical copy personally because I love collecting physical games. But this would be fire. This would literally be amazing. We need to have the OG, at least Gens 1 through 3, at least come over to the Switch and Switch 2 in one way or another, right? However, Balkai responded with a Vileplume. But what does this exactly mean? Vileplume is a Generation 1 Pokemon, and Balkai always knows something. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Balkai is always just, he knows some random stuff that no one else knows, and he always kind of like teases us with something. So what exactly do you take this as? I have no idea. I don't know if it's just a meme. I don't know if this does mean there's something Generation 1 related coming to the Switch 2 or the Switch or with the Pokemon Day 2026. I don't know because I would rather not get another Gen 1 remake. I want a remake of a different game, of a different generation. And if we do get Gen 1 back on the Switch again, I would hope it would be like alongside some of the other generations, right? I just figured I'd bring this up because maybe one of you guys would understand what he's saying. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like different things that would make sense. I just have no idea. Guys, I miss my Christmas lights. I feel like the background is so boring now. However, I did get some cool LED lights I'm going to put up eventually here. I don't really know exactly how I'm going to do that because they're very specific LED light. This article says that they think they figured out why Generation 10's starter water Pokemon could be a monkey, and that's what a lot of people think because we have Chimchar, we have Grookey, we're just missing that water type starter, and it would be sick. I would love to have that because, bro, complete the trio, and I think it would be cool, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to actually get that to happen. Like, that has to happen with Generation 10. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to happen, but I think it would be amazing if it were to happen. I think it could be a proboscis monkey. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. But for those unfamiliar, a proboscis monkey, long-nosed monkey, has a large nose, reddish brown fur, and a long tail. They're endemic to the Southeast Asian island of Borneo, being mostly found in mangrove forests along the island's coastal regions. Beyond their noses, they are notable for being able to swim and being as comfortable in the water as they are on the trees. You can probably see where I'm going with this. Not only does a proboscis monkey make sense as a real-world inspiration, there are several other supporting factors. The resort city that we're going to be in the game, it fits into the popular Gen 10 is a great time to finish the perfect trifecta of starters, which is kind of true, and Pokemon Concierge could have been a teaser. Let's get into it. Here's a video. I never thought I would show a nature video on the channel, but I guess that's what the monkey looks like. Pretty cool. Okay, for some reason, everything is like whited out, and I don't know why, but if I highlight it, we can read it. Totodile and Fuecoco are based on crocodiles, but there's no grass crocodile. Turtwig and Squirtle are turtles. There's no fire turtle. Sprigatito and Litten are based on cats. There's no water cat. I never even thought about this. Like, I've never thought this hard into it to think about, okay, we have all these duos of, you know, specific, I guess, animals. Where are the trios? This could be the first completion of one of these trios. It would be the starter to close this off, and it would be interesting to see if the future Pokemon generations did something similar one at a time in every generation that it followed. So like Gen 11 could maybe fill in like the turtle starters, and then Gen 12 could fill in the crocodile starters. I mean, I'm just saying some random stuff here, but that would be sick. Pokemon Concierge feels like a Gen 10 teaser now. It's also easier to identify new Pokemon generation teasers in hindsight, like finding paintings of oranges and grapes in Pokemon Sword and Shield that were teasers for Scarlet and Violet. Pokemon Concierge's very existence feels like a Gen 10 teaser would be made more obvious with its release if it weren't for the Terra leak. In short, it takes place in a resort, possibly supporting the leak of how players meet the Gen 10 starters, and the fact that it's set at sea, possibly supporting Wind and Wave being in Southeast Asia. That is so true. I never thought about this. If you guys don't know, Pokemon, Game Freak, they always tease stuff. They love to tease things, and then when we go back to old games, it's kind of obvious to see like what the teasers were, but sometimes we can't tell what they are. Like, it's not very easy to see what these teasers are without knowing what came afterwards, right? The monkey starter with an emphasis on its nose as a Warhorn could still have a Waiterly vibe to it. Of course, there are plenty of directions, but at least until Game Freak reveals the starters, I've managed to convince myself. I'm also low-key convinced. I've seen so many people bring this up, so many people talk about it, and I want to see it. I am 100% down for a monkey water starter. I think that this is a perfect opportunity for it, and I may even choose it for my starter. I don't know. A lot of people want a grass cow type too, which would be fire. I mean, bro, let me know what starters you want to see. There are so many options here that we could actually pick from with Southeast Asia, and I cannot wait to see the reveal. Like I've been mentioning, guys, I've been hyping y'all up. It could potentially be Pokemon Day 2026. That could be when we actually see the starter Pokemon. So turn on those post notifications so you don't miss that, because I will be live streaming that, and it's might be fun. That might be, well, it's definitely going to be fun, but it might be kind of crazy. Like, we could get a big reveal for Gen 10. And low-key so far is bringing up something very similar about like the colors and how like they tease things. So Legend ZA had a lot of like yellow and like blue kind of references. Like you can see the bed sheets, the floor, the flowers right here. We could see, I think this is Scarlet and Violet right here. You can still see, winds and waves are, blue and yellow. For months, my friend Yori has been saying the shades of blue and yellow could be the Gen 10 game colors. I didn't buy it until today. The 30th anniversary logos we just got revealed a couple days ago, and it's yellow and blue. I don't know, like this is not 100% confirmed, of course. That would be kind of crazy though, and also would low-key be going like full circle because it's the 10th generation of Pokemon, first double-digit Pokemon game. It's a huge deal, and then of course, we obviously have like Pokemon Blue and we have Pokemon Yellow, but obviously these games are not going to be called that. It will be Wind and Wave, at least 99% sure it's going to be called Wind and Wave. These could very well be the colors of Generation 10. And here we have Yori posting all these other, colors of blue and yellow. And dude, it would be insane. I'm down for it though. If these were the colors right here, kind of like that baby light-ish blue and then, just like yellow, I'm down for that. I think that those are really cool colors, and I would totally love if those were Gen 10's colors. So let me know, do you guys think that these are going to be the Generation 10 colors? And Soul Silver Art also talking about the Wallace line, which is like the line in Southeast Asia, which I've talked about a couple times on the channel, but Gen 10 would indeed be the perfect time for new evolution. I think we would need to have 3, right? I think it's either we get 1 evolution or 3, because we need that like, counter to Sylveon, right? But then if we get another one, then we're going to have just like kind of 1 left over, right? So in my head, I'm like, okay, then we need another one. So it's either we get 1 or 3. I don't know if that makes sense. In my head, it does. I don't know, but bird, poisonous, reptiles, tons of cool options that we could actually get an evolution based on for Southeast Asia. Dude, Generation 10, bro, please give us a new evolution for this game. It's been so long. And it's Gen 10. Like, they gotta go all out. Like, if they just don't go completely all 100% in, 100% out, I'm gonna be a little disappointed because I want to see a new evolution. I know you guys do too. So let me know some evolution types you want to see. I literally want anything. Game Freak, give us anything. Any single type of evolution that we don't have already. I would lose my mind to see, and I think it would be awesome, and I'm 100% there for it. Light saying there could potentially be a frog Pokemon starter, with a lot of people talking about. Among the thousands of species Alfred Russell Wallace discovered in Southeast Asia, the most spectacular was the Wallace flying frog. While it doesn't achieve true powered flight, it uses a massive webbed feet to glide between the jungle canopies, which is so dope, and I totally would love that. I think frogs are awesome. I used to have a pet frog. Fundores lore. I used to have a pet frog back in the day when I was a kid, and it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have. It was a tree frog. And this is interesting. I thought I would just bring this up because I've never heard of Alpha Mart, but it apparently seems like Generation 10's Poké Centers are going to be based on the Alpha Mart from Indonesia. You can see it's very similar color patterns. Definitely can see the inspiration here. I decided I'd bring that up because it's kind of a neat little thing right there. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Let me know all your thoughts about this. Like I said, this is kind of like one of those dump videos where I'm just talking about a bunch of random stuff, nothing like too specific, but low-key, these are kind of my favorite videos to make because there's so many different topics that we could talk about and that we usually do cover, and it's so cool. We are in peak hype leak theory season right now, and it's only gonna get crazier from here, guys. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, to help me reach my goal of 50K by the end of the year. Hope you guys all have a great day today. If you're watching this far in the video, comment down below truck, the word truck, to confuse the people who are not watching this far in the video. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.